Hoopla, warriors! Today is a good day to learn about space. Wow, my face looks quite frightening right now. Oh, that's better. I looked like some kind of zombie. Alright. Today, as voted on last week, the topic is space. The final frontier. Glad you're here, Charlemagne. For my Star Trek references, there will be only a few. One or two. Don't worry, it won't be excessive. It's more about space than about Star Trek. So, today we are discussing space, but quickly before we do that, yes, that's right, Lagario, the streams can't be heard, neither can the explosions and all of that. So, before we do that, let's review the schedule. So, Mondays are gaming days. Karaoke on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, class with Dr. Export, based on the topic chosen the previous week. Thursday, gaming, and guess what? I received an email today that Tales of Seikyu is out. The early access, so that will be Thursday, tomorrow. And then Friday, Nika guest host streams, also chosen by you, the viewers. And this week, in the lead is Crown. So if you want to turn the tide, you're going to have to get in there quickly. I forgot to ping on Discord. Oh, I apologize. Alright, sorry about that. Okay. Alright, so yes, that's the schedule. And so today, space, the final frontier. Let's get started, because there's a lot to cover. Alright, so I cover a variety of topics here, mostly somewhat basic, only because the topic of space is, astronomical. Ah, yes. Anyway, so first, we will start with, let me find the picture I want. There we are. Let's find this lovely image. Alright, we are going to start. I don't know why it's black right there. It hasn't loaded properly. Oh well, you can see it. Alright. I think space is scarier in some ways. It depends. Alright, so we're going to start with discussing stars. So what is a star? Well, when I was a child, I learned the definition of star from a very wise man named Pumbaa. Very wise warthog. He taught me that stars are balls of gas burning billions of miles away. And he was correct. I'm sorry he's cut off there. It's the only one I could find. So yes, they are giant balls of gas burning billions of miles away. The gases are mostly hydrogen and some helium, and a small amount of other elements. Oh, thank you, Helm. Scientists believe there may be as many as 1 septillion stars in the universe. 1 septillion. Anyone ever heard that word before? I hadn't. So that's a 1 plus 24 zeros. So 1 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0. That's how many stars they believe there may be. Ah, I see that Bravenwolf has put in a request. I'll hold that off till the end. We'll save 10 minutes for it. And yes, they'll drag in a new number for me as well. And so, yes, and Bravenwolf, we will address your quote there. I have something to say about that, indeed. So then a star, the life of a star. How is a star born? Not like that depressing movie, A Star is Born. I think every version of it is depressing. So stars form... Let me get the picture. No, damn it! Spoiler. I'm a fool. Stars form in molecular clouds, which are clouds of gas and dust. Now, sometimes they are known as stellar nurseries. So the cloud of gas and dust is cold, which causes clumps of gas to form and high-density pockets. And then the clumps of gas can collide and collect more matter. Then, as they collect more matter, gravity causes the clumps to collapse, which leads to friction causing heat and creates a protostar or a baby star, if you will. Yes, Bravenwolf, that's correct. They nurse on gas. Be glad you're not a star. Then, their lifespan begins after they're this little protostar, baby star. So here's the nursery. Let us look for a protostar. Had a very busy work day today, so less time for preparing the images. Some days I have more or less time. Well, look at this. Gorgeous. I would like to be Space Steve Irwin. She's gorgeous. What a beauty. Yes, so a protostar or a baby star. Then, immense pressures and temperatures in the baby star lead to nuclear fusion, which heats the star and prevents it from collapsing under gravity. This is known as the main sequence stage of the star, which is how it passes most of its life. Our star, known as the Sun, is about halfway through its main sequence stage. Which is a bit frightening. If you hear that, you're like, wait, our star's halfway through its life? More or less. What? So you might be wondering, well, then what happens? What happens when it's all the way through the main sequence? Well, for stars like our own, which are low-mass stars, so smaller, well, I guess lower mass, you know what I mean, low-mass stars, the core runs out of hydrogen to turn into helium. Nuclear fusion energy causes the core to start to collapse, so it doesn't have the energy to keep itself up, to prevent itself from collapsing. Then pressure and temperature cause the star to puff up, and it keeps expanding until the outer layers of it blow away, leaving just the core, which creates a white dwarf and an expanding cloud of dust and gas called a planetary nebula. I have a picture of a white dwarf. No, damn it. White dwarf. Let's find a nice picture of a white dwarf. Here, we'll assume this is a white dwarf. White dwarf. Difficult to look at, isn't it? It's like a diamond. A white dwarf, and let's take a look at a planetary nebula. Typo again. Images of a planetary nebula. So the white dwarf, and then everything that kind of blows off creates this cloud, which is a planetary... Yes, I want a planetary nebula. Yes, Ravenwolf. No, white dwarf is not a cat. Out of context. Please pretend you didn't see that. Then, what happens to high mass stars is different. Alright, whatever. We won't say the planetary nebula. Damn it! Alright, anyway. So the larger stars, fusion converts carbon into heavier elements such as oxygen, neon, and magnesium, which become future fuel for the core. So the higher mass stars are able to keep producing fuel for their core, which produce energy that prevents the star from collapsing. But each new fuel buys less and less time. And yes, stars make neon. That makes sense because she is made of firepower. So, each new fuel buys less and less time to prevent the collapsing. Eventually, silicon fuses into iron. But at this point, the fuel runs out in just a matter of days. And then, if what the star needs to do is fuse the fuel into something heavier, but in order to do so, it would need to produce energy instead of release energy. And it's no longer able to do that. So then, eventually, the iron core collapses. And there's my glasses. The iron core collapses until forces between the nuclei push the brakes and then rebound, creating a shockwave known as a supernova. Let's find a nice image of a supernova. So look at that. Kind of like, some things we've seen in movies. Then the core of the star survives as a neutron star or a black hole. Look at these. These aren't very good images of black holes, to be honest. This one's better, perhaps. Many of them are not terribly... They're not accurate. They're very difficult to see. So the supernova, or a black hole, or a neutron star, and the materials that are put into the universe from the supernova will enrich future molecular clouds and create the next stars. So the molecular cloud. The life cycle. It's the circle of life. One star dies, creating more through its death. It's beautiful. Alright, so that's stars. Brief coverage of stars. Now, what is a planet? So, the word planet comes from the ancient Greek word meaning a wanderer, which I assume they said because of the planets traveling throughout the sky. And then, so, a definition of a planet. So this is the most recent definition of a planet, created in 2006 by the International Astronomical Union, or the IAU. Now, this definition has 3 points, 3 areas that it must meet in order to be considered a planet. So, this definition, however, it's important to note that not all scientists agree with this definition. It was created by this organization, but not all astronomers or scientists agree. And based on this definition, number 3 disqualifies Pluto from being a planet. It says it must be big enough that its gravity has cleared away any other objects of a similar size near its orbit around the sun. Pluto has not cleared its orbit of debris, which means other objects might cross its orbit. Now, we will address Pluto more in a minute. But first, discussing planets more, let's take a brief look at the planets, because we're all fairly familiar with the planets. We learn about them in a few different grades. So, our planets. Mercury. Mercury is closest to the sun. It's the fastest planet. It takes just 88 days to orbit the sun. 88 Earth days, that is. And it's named for the swiftest Roman god, because it's the fastest planet. So the swiftest Roman god is Mercury, which would be Hermes, or Hermes, I don't know. Hermes in Greek. Also of note, Mercury has no moons. Next is Venus. Venus is the 3rd brightest of the planets. Oh, no, I mean, no. Now I don't remember what I was writing there. Anyway, Venus spins in the opposite direction of most planets, and its thick atmosphere traps heat, which makes it the hottest planet. Yes, Helm, that's right. So Venus is the hottest planet. Who would have guessed Venus as the hottest if they didn't already know? I think as a child I would have guessed Mars as the hottest, just because I always associated Mars with being hot, because we're always taught that it's hot on Mars, aren't we? And Venus also has no moons. Venus was named for the Greek goddess of love, the Roman goddess of love, the equivalent being the Greek Aphrodite. Now, I don't know why they chose the goddess of love. Most of the other names make more sense. I'm not sure where that came from. Oh, interesting, Godako. I didn't know that one. Earth. A little bit about Earth. Earth is the only planet with liquid water, which is, of course, why it's so blue. Earth, the word Earth comes from an ancient Germanic word meaning ground. How lame is that? We need a better name. That's really weak. Then there's Mars. Mars is named for the Roman god of war, whose equivalent in Greece would be Ares. And it was named for the god of war because of its red color resembling blood. Now, why is Mars red? Does anyone know? Ah, interesting, Nerdicodium. Conium, that makes sense. Thank you, 1F. Oh, interesting. 1F coming in with the interesting facts. Named Venus because they thought it was a paradise world. Ah, yes, Redacted has it. Charlemagne, all blood? No, that's incorrect. Mars is red because of the presence of the iron minerals in the dirt, which oxidize or rust, creating the red color. It's also called the red planet, and I believe The Egyptian word for it means the red one. And then Mars has 2 small moons. And as we know, I forgot to mention, Earth has 1 moon. In Star Trek, they refer to it as Luna, because they are recognizing that there are other moons with names. Next, interesting Nerdiconium. I didn't think about that connection. How did I miss that? Excellent point. And your name is quite apt with bringing in those facts. Jupiter, my friend. Jupiter has stripes and swirls, which are cold. I just lost my place. Cold, windy clouds of ammonia and water. Kind of like cat urine. And, oh, thank you, Out of Context. Yes. Is the moon made of cheese? Out of context, yes, but it's not mozzarella. When have you ever seen those kind of pits in mozzarella? It's clearly Swiss cheese. And so, what's Indian, Lagario? I think I missed what you said. Hemogoblins Indian. What? I missed something. Yes, Eldragon, there's some disagreement among scientists about what cheese it is. Alright, Jupiter. So windy clouds of ammonia and water. The stripes and swirls are made up of cold, windy clouds of ammonia and water floating in an atmosphere of hydrogen and helium. So the darker parts, darker oranger parts, are known as belts, and the lighter parts are known as zones. Then anyone remember what this is called here? Can you see what I'm circling? Who remembers learning about this? It's probably the only thing you remembered about Jupiter besides being the largest. Anyone remember? Yes, that's right. They do call it Terra, Charlemagne. But I think that probably also just means ground or dirt. It is a storm, yes. It's called the Great Red Spot. Oh, whoops, I see that it's behind the... whatever. It's known as the Great Red Spot, and it's a storm larger than the size of Earth that has raged for hundreds of years. Jupiter was named for the Roman king of the gods, the equivalent of the Greek Zeus, and is the biggest planet. It has 4 large moons and many smaller moons. It's quite well known for its moons. Yes, correct. Next is Saturn, named for the Roman god of agriculture and wealth, the father of Jupiter, Greek equivalent Kronos. As you know, Zeus was, he took down Kronos. So interesting choice. Saturn has 146 moons and rings. It's well known for its rings, of course. The rings are thought to be pieces of comets, asteroids, or shattered moons torn apart by Saturn's gravity before hitting the planet. And it has 7 main rings, which they refer to as A, B, C, D, E, F, G? Yes, that's right. Interesting 1F. Oh, hello, Angel. Jupiter is highly radioactive. Probes have to shut down when flying close, or they will fry their insides. Very interesting. Thank you, 1F. Lagario, well, Zeus could come to you as anything he wanted, and I'm not sure how much of a choice you'd have. All right, next, Uranus, we shall pronounce it, so I don't get taken down by pronouncing it the way most Americans do. Uranus is a cold and windy ice giant. It has 13 rings, which you can't see here in this picture, and 28 moons. It's also tilted at 90 degrees, which makes it look like it's spinning sideways. And the funny thing about Uranus is all the rest are named for Roman gods, but Uranus is named for the Greek god of the sky, if you remember from our Zeus lecture. Was that last week? No, 2 weeks ago. Yes. So then, last of the official technical planets is Neptune. Neptune is a dark and cold ice giant with supersonic winds. It's not visible to the naked eye, so originally they didn't even know it was there. And they eventually figured it out through mathematics. And, it's, oh, thank you for following Ellie Nyov on Twitch. Not visible to the naked eye. Named for the Roman god of the sea, the equivalent of the Greek Poseidon. It has 16 known moons, possibly more. It's hard to see. And at least 5 main rings and 4 prominent ring arcs. So yes, give me a moment. My throat's been bothering me. I'm not sick, but I think I've been talking and singing too much. All right. Oh, I did not know about Neptune's storm, Ender. Thank you. I was trying to keep it brief on the planets to get to the things that people would know less about. Or maybe it's just me. Now, we'll discuss the dwarf planets, but first, let's address Pluto. Pluto, as we mentioned, was reclassified in 2006 as a dwarf planet by a specific organization. Not everyone agrees. I would like to say, I'm not a fan of Neil deGrasse Tyson. He's more of a celebrity than a scientist, and he spends all of... The real scientists are doing research and making discoveries. He's going around telling everyone Pluto's not a planet. So I don't like that. Also not a fan of Bill Nye. He's not a scientist, he's a celebrity. He only has a Bachelor of Arts in Mechanical Engineering. That doesn't make you a scientist. Especially when you're not practicing. If you were practicing, that would be different. Anyway, that's my rant. Meth? What? Lagario? I mean, it is related to science, but I'm not sure where that came from. Pluto is called a dwarf planet. The definition of a dwarf planet is... Well, I guess I didn't write that down. Oh well. Anyway, there are many other dwarf planets. We'll talk about Pluto first. To know about Pluto, something very interesting about Pluto is, do you know how Pluto got its name? Yes, I've heard that, Charlemagne. No, Lagario, I'm not saying your major isn't valid. I'm saying that having a Bachelor of Arts in Mechanical Engineering does not make you No. Please, let me explain, Lagario. I'm not saying that doesn't make you a scientist. I am saying it doesn't make you an expert on all areas of science. He's an engineer, but he's not a scientist of everything, which is how he presents himself. I'm not saying mechanical engineering isn't valid. He's an engineer. He's a scientist of mechanical engineering, but he presents himself as being an expert on all topics, like vaccines. He's more of a TV personality and a mechanical engineer, although I don't think he practices very much. And he presents himself as being a scientist on everything, and he's not. He's just reading what someone else wrote. Anyway. There is... Pluto. Does anyone know who named Pluto? No, Lagario, I genuinely don't want you to think I'm dissing your major. That's not what I mean. So, Hades... So Pluto was actually named by an 11-year-old girl, Venetia Burney. She submitted this suggestion, and it was chosen. So it was named for the Roman god of the underworld, which, yes, the Greek equivalent would be Hades. Not following the reasoning so much on that one either, but at least it's consistent. So, yes, an 11-year-old girl. So isn't that interesting? How did she do that? Yes, Angel, that's what I'm saying. Anyway, I feel he misrepresents himself. There are other dwarf planets. Ceres, Haumea, nicknamed Santa. Oh yes, I remember reading about that. Makemake and Eris. I did not know about these other dwarf planets. I only knew about Pluto, who in my heart I still consider a planet, and until it is universally agreed on, I will continue to believe it is a planet. Or I'll see what my friend who works in astronomy says. I didn't ask her. Now, yes, Ceres, I don't remember what that's the god of. Let's check. Let's check what their names came from. God of corn and harvests. The word cereal comes from the same name. Haumea. What? Named after the Hawaiian goddess of fertility. It's nice they're branching out. Makemake, that sounds Hawaiian as well. The Rapa Nui god of fertility. I don't know what that is. And then this one, Eris, Goddess of Discord and Strife. All right. Oh, thanks, Argit Lampooper, for subscribing. Anyway, 1F, obviously Sailor Mercury. All right. So then discussing other solar systems, which are referred to as planetary systems. Only our solar system is known as the solar system because we call our star the sun. The other suns are called something else. So, scientists have discovered more than 3,200 stars with planets. And these planets are known as exoplanets. And there's a few that they've identified. Let me check my links. Thought I had a list. Could have sworn. Where did my list go? Oh well, I lost it. So there's HG 40307G, which is a super Earth. Then there's Kepler 16b-2. And who can guess what's special about Kepler 16b-2? Yes, many of them have weird number names. Or just, yes, weird. There's something special about Kepler 2 that I, as a Star Wars fan, enjoy. Little factoid. Argit, I will save that request for the last 10 minutes of stream. No, no Diamond Rain. Which one has the Diamond Rain? No, it has 2 suns. So it's basically Tatooine. Exactly, Nerdiconium. It has 2 suns, like on Tatooine. So I'm hopeful that Jedi live there. We'll see. And then there's also a planetary system that's been identified. It's called TRAPPIST, all caps, TRAPPIST-1. So it's a whole system of 7 Earth-sized planets, which possibly are covered in liquid water. Possibly. Which would be very exciting, of course, because water brings life. So that would be very exciting. Yes, Lagario, I suppose that Kepler may be full of Sith instead of Jedi. That's a reasonable assumption. And then, as far as finding more planetary systems and exoplanets, the TESS mission, TESS all caps, is looking for more. Eldragon, other form of water, meaning gas or ice. They're specifying that the water there is liquid. Now, let us move on. I don't think I have a picture for this. I tried to find one. Damn it. Damn it. Alright, I didn't have a picture. So we are going to discuss the formation of the universe. So who knows what we refer to the formation of the universe as? There's a popular term and a terrible show named after it. It is called, yes, Eldragon, the Big Bang, or the Big Bang Theory. So, oops, I scrolled down too far. The Big Bang. So, when the universe stopped inflating, the energy being used transferred to matter and light. 1 second later, ignore this image, just look at it, but it's unrelated. 1 second later, the universe consisted of extremely hot, primordial soup of light and particles. Yes, Bravenwolf, it is quite fascinating that it really was like, let there be light. And then over the next few minutes, nucleosynthesis took place. It's during which the protons and the neutrons collided and produced the first elements, mainly hydrogen and helium, which, if you remember, are important for the formation of stars. And then it also had traces of lithium and beryllium. Interesting, Argit. I did not know that. So the Big Bang Theory was believed to be too based in religion. Fascinating. Yes, out of context, exactly, like the Doro transformation. And then, 5 minutes later, so, I mean, it's quite fascinating how quickly this occurred. 5 minutes later, most of today's helium had formed, and the universe had expanded and cooled enough that further element formation stopped. But the universe was still too hot for atoms to form. Then, the cosmos was opaque. So you all know what opaque means, right? Can't see through it. Opaque because the electrons created a fog that scattered light. Fascinating, Argit. I didn't know that. I mean, I saw his name, but I wasn't aware that he was a Catholic priest. That is quite fascinating. I'm going to look into that more later. Yes, quite a bit hotter than Texas out of context. I don't think you and Gus would enjoy it. So then, after that initial Big Bang, came recombination. So 380,000 years passed, and the universe had cooled enough for the atomic nuclei to capture electrons. So the elements formed, producing hydrogen, helium, and others, but the electrons were scattering light. Then the atomic nuclei formed. So now most of the electrons were bound into atoms. So because of that, the electrons were no longer creating the fog and scattering the light. The fog cleared, and the universe became transparent. So now that it was transparent, the light could travel freely. And the formation of these first atoms produced its own light, also known as a cosmic glow, which we call the cosmic microwave background, and it's still detectable today. Yes, redacted, that's right. In layman's terms. In Pumbaa terms. Next, came the Dark Ages, during which the universe became opaque again at shorter wavelengths due to the absorbing effects of the hydrogen atoms. So it was opaque, couldn't see, the light couldn't travel. Then it was transparent, the light was traveling, once again opaque. So this is known as the Dark Ages of the universe. The universe remained dark for 200 million years, and just consisted of a sea of hydrogen, helium, and traces of heavier elements. Pegged. Helm, what are you talking about, pegged? Next, the first stars were formed. So, if you remember, the gas was not uniformly distributed. The cooler areas were lumpier, with denser clouds of gas, which come together and form stars, as we previously discussed. Next came reionization, during which the starlight first couldn't. So at the beginning, starlight couldn't travel far because it was scattered by the dense gas. As we mentioned, the opacity prevented the traveling of the light. UV light emitted by the stars ionized or broke down the hydrogen atoms in the gas, allowing the starlight to travel. And as the starlight traveled, it broke up more and more hydrogen atoms. So by the time the universe was 1 billion years old, stars and galaxies had transformed the gas and made the universe transparent to light as we know it today. So light can freely travel, and we can see the stars. Now, what will happen in the future? I thought I had a page on this. No, I don't. All right, whatever. So what will happen in the future? The universe is still expanding. It's infinitely expanding. And it was believed that the universe would slow down its expansion. However, it's been found that it is speeding up. So the universe is expanding at a faster rate, which means that things are getting farther apart. So the distance between things are getting farther apart, and it's believed that dark energy may be what is accelerating the expansion. So, yes, that's that. It's expanding and expanding, and potentially dark energy is causing it to get farther apart, and eventually heat death will occur. Next, galaxies. I'm gonna close some of these because it's throwing me off and confusing me. Oh, I never showed you this one. My bad. Planets. You all know the planets, though. Galaxies. Look at these beauties. There it is. Okay, galaxies. What is a galaxy? It's a huge collection of gas, dust, and billions of stars and their solar systems, all held together by gravity. That's NASA's definition. So this collection is held together by gravity. In a period of 12 days, the Hubble telescope identified 10,000 galaxies, and it's believed there may be as many as... Can you guess how many galaxies there may be? Any guesses? We know... So based on what I just said... there's at least 10,000. Damn it, Argot. Well, this said 100 billion. What I read, but perhaps Argot's correct. I read 100 billion. 12 and a half, Lucario. Yes, so there may be as many as 100 billion, and there are many types. There's spiral, there's elliptical, there's irregular. Let me get my list. I thought I had already put my list. Copied and pasted this link. Let me get it. Wikipedia has a list. So look at these. Those are different. Those are other galaxies, but no. I want the types of... types. Oh well. So there's many types of galaxies. This is a list of galaxies. Going back to the Milky Way. So our galaxy is known as the Milky Way. And it's quite beautiful, isn't it? And, I'm sorry? I just lost my place. Oh, yes. So there are many... Oh, here it is. Here's my link. The list. Ooh, this is quite beautiful. Space is really incredibly beautiful. Types of galaxies. Spiral, elliptical, lenticular. Oh, let's let it load. Spiral. So our own galaxy, the Milky Way, is a spiral galaxy. It's a rather broad class. Yes, and elliptical galaxies. Don't see that so well. Lenticular galaxies, irregular galaxies, active galaxies, Seyfert galaxies, quasars. Ooh, look at that. Blazars. I had not heard of that one. That one sounds like a joke. Sounds like something a weird couple would name their twins. This is my son Quasar and my daughter Blazar. So there's those. Let's go focus on this one. Anyway. And then, yes, I did have also in my notes, sometimes galaxies bump into each other, and currently the Milky Way and Andromeda galaxy are heading towards each other and will someday collide. Lucario, no, the Earth is not flat, and the flat earthers, actually, I don't know if you heard, they accidentally proved that the Earth is not flat. They devised an experiment to prove that it was flat and instead discovered that it was not. So, yeah, that's embarrassing. It's quite hilarious to watch the footage. All right. Next, we'll be discussing what is a black hole? So, a black hole is a huge concentration of matter packed into very tiny spaces, like this. Or this. Get the joke? A huge concentration of matter packed into very tiny spaces. When I wrote this definition down, immediately came to mind was a fat cat. All right. But anyway, damn it. Here's these images. I don't know which one is most accurate. This one is supposed to be... So the Milky Way has a supermassive black hole in the center, and it's believed that other galaxies do as well. So that's yeah. Quite an interesting look there. So the Milky Way has a supermassive black hole in the middle. It's a huge concentration of matter packed into a very tiny space. Kind of like when I binge eat on Thanksgiving as well. And it is so dense that nothing can escape its gravity, including light. No, Helm, that's not my cat. I would never have an obese cat because I'm responsible. I'm responsible to keep her healthy, not put pressure on her joints. Although I did have a fat cat once as a child, she wasn't like that. But she was so fat that when she got a puncture wound, she survived because it only punctured her fat and avoided her organs. Anyway, something disappointing to know about black holes. They are not vacuums and they are not wormholes. So if you traveled into a black hole, you would just be crushed. You would not travel to the Delta Quadrant or anything like that. So very disappointing. Here's a list of all the black holes. Isn't that fascinating? There's this many that we've identified. It's incredible because they're difficult to find. But so we've identified all of these. Yes, it makes sense that it's not a vacuum, but it is disappointing that it's not a wormhole. So, in my notes I also had, what is a wormhole? Well, wormholes are not proven to exist. They are merely theoretical, and of course, in sci-fi. Who names them, Lagario? Boring astronomers, I assume. That's all they've got as names. This one's Centaurus. That's better. Out of context, I would not recommend visiting a black hole. Even on the magic school bus, you'd be sucked in and crushed instantly. Alright, a few more things on my list before we move on to discussion and impressions. Now, I included what is a cosmic string because one of my favorite scenes from Star Trek The Next Generation is Season 5. When there's a disaster and they are all trapped. A disaster caused by a phenomenon. There are people trapped on the bridge, and one of them is Counselor Troy. And unfortunately, because the others were unalived by the accident, Counselor Troy is the highest-ranking officer on board and in charge. Chief O'Brien is trying to explain to her the phenomenon that occurred that caused the accident, and she says, "Like a cosmic string." And he says, "No, that's a completely different phenomenon." So what is it? So cosmic strings are theoretical. It's a theoretical one-dimensional object that may have formed after the Big Bang and plays a crucial role in the structure of the universe. Only theoretical at this point. We have no idea, no evidence of it. A lot of things are theoretical still. So now, as far as life on other planets, no. Life on other planets. This is a recent article. It is from April 17th of this year. Yes, Charlemagne, but I explained it well enough, didn't I? Everyone should get it now. It's hilarious. So life on other planets, many people believe that there is, but we have no clear evidence. But recently, as you see here, recently on a planet, an exoplanet called K2-18b, was found to potentially contain the chemical fingerprints of dimethyl sulfide and dimethyl disulfide, which could indicate the presence of life. That's all we've got, really. That's some of the hardest evidence at this point. As this professor says here, it's the strongest evidence to date. But that's all we've really got. Now, I believe that a long time ago, in a galaxy far, far away, there were many people and planets. But, remains to be seen. Yes. Yes, many believe that... did you say... The question of the day was, are we alone in the universe? Yes or no. So if you say yes, that means you think we're the only life. No would mean there is alien life. That's the question of the day. I'm going to put a poll up. Lagario, no, I absolutely did not support the destruction of Alderaan. They took it way too far. Although, to be fair, Princess Leia lied about the base. Dantooine was a lie. It was, oh, shit. It was, Yavin. They were on Yavin. Alright. So, life on other planets. Now, You know, Dirt Feather, I'm hoping there aren't giant sandworms. But I'm willing to accept the giant sandworms if that also means that there's Han Solo. Oh, you're talking about... You're talking about Dune. I was thinking of that, you know what I was thinking of. Now, as far as warp speed or light speed... We, obviously we don't have that at this point. It's purely theoretical. But it's believed it may be possible. There are many... PopularMechanics.com has many articles on this. They believe that it may be possible if we could create a warp bubble, as long as Dr. Crusher doesn't get trapped in it. And the problem, though, with warp drive, it may be possible, but it would require an enormous amount of energy to sustain the warp bubble. Now, it's believed it's possible that negative energy may be the solution to this. However... we don't know if negative energy is real. Folding space, Dirt Feather. Yes, good question. I don't know. I didn't see anything about that. And, so yes. However, you should know that as humans, if we do cross the warp threshold past warp 10, this is what happens to us. This is from what many believe to be the worst episode ever of Star Trek. I don't agree. I don't think it's the worst ever. I'd say it's top 10. But to me, it's so bad it's good. So in this episode, Tom Paris goes in a shuttle, and he exceeds warp 10. Yes, Lagario, Voyager's terrible, but it does have some good episodes. Exceeds warp 10, but this is what happens to him. He turns into a lizard. And he turns into a lizard, and then for some reason, Janeway does as well. And then they mate and have baby lizards. But, yeah, that's a whole different topic. But yes, here, that's what happened if we cross the threshold. Oh my goodness. So yes, look up that episode if you like. He evolved backwards. Yes, it's really special. It's called Threshold is the name of the episode. Now, last but not least, are there other universes? This is another one that we don't have evidence of, but there are many theories and many believers. Many people believe in the multiverse, but of course, no solid evidence. So yes, let's make sure I got through all my images. Ah, yes, here's this lovely one of the other... with much more interesting names. The Milky Way, LMC, not so interesting. Andromeda, Cigar Galaxy, Pinwheel Galaxy, Sombrero Galaxy, Whirlpool Galaxy, NGC 1300, Tadpole Galaxy, and Hoag's Object. Look at Hoag's Object! And this says, the Hubble Deep Field contains thousands of very distant galaxies, one of each being the furthest we have ever observed, which lies 13.5 billion light years away from us. It's quite fascinating. All right. That is everything I have on space for today. We shall leave the last 10 minutes for discussion and impressions. Now, let me just bring up my impressions. Give me a moment. Bring up my impression requests. What's a tadpole galaxy? I don't know, Helm. That was just on the list. Up, time to give my steps in. I'll do that while I'm bringing up my requests. Here they are. I have 3. Thank you, Gamma Spectre. Everyone, thank Gamma Spectre. He gifted 10 memberships. Thank you so much. All of your contributions help me keep the channel going and allow me to spend more time on it as well. Someday it will replace my full-time job. Alright, so I see I have now 4 requests. And a reminder, if you have an Amazon Prime account, you can subscribe for free to me on Twitch. And whether or not you subscribe, you can watch me on Twitch and earn channel points, which you can then redeem for impressions, as I'm about to do as soon as my steps are in. Yes, it looks like I'm winking. I'm just getting my steps in. And then I shall sit. Alright, steps complete. Gotten all my hours today. Alright. Give me a moment. Brrr. Oh, I need a sip of water. Oh, Charlemagne, I'm out of Star Trek references for today. I was trying to keep it, you know, reasonable. I don't care what anyone says. Pluto is a planet. A dwarf planet, yes, but a planet nonetheless. That was Bravenwolf's request. Arget's got a crown request. Well, hello! Rappy is the main heroine, and Marion is mid. Alright. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm waiting for the sound. Doo-boo-doo-boo-doo. Do any of those need to be redone? Also, I'm gonna put one more poll in the chat. Best space movie. I'm gonna give you 4 options. I know I will be leaving many things off. 4 options are gonna be Star Wars, Interstellar, 2001 Space Odyssey, and Alien. Alright. Next, Dirt Feather's request for crown. Why, hello there! This makes my head hurt. Alright. Dirt Feathers gotta go to space. Lady. Ooh. Space going. Space can't wait. Was that a reference? I feel like I missed a reference there, Dirt Feather, and I was supposed to say it differently. Which Star Wars original trilogy, Matryoshka, goes without saying? Brave and Wolf, I've only seen Star Wars out of those ones. So don't feel bad. Space-themed games. Oh yeah, that would be a good one too. Okay, Lilywise. Flatnike are inferior. Alright. That was Arget's request. God of Wolves. Ave true to Caesar. Alright. Arget's got a siren one. Oh boy. Siren, let me see. Bubbles. Destroy the Ark. Destroy the Ark. Sorry. Siren's the hardest to do when I've had a break from her. This is Gadako. Marion, Bill Nye is not a scientist. Got that in twice. That's weird. Right, Dirt Feather. Dirt Feather's request was Siren. I should have listened to her. I meant to listen to her to prepare again. In space? Ooh, ah, ooh. No one can hear you scream. Oh, Bubbles. Haven't prepared my Jin yet, Helm. I can put one in and I'll try. But no promises. I was listening last night to try to work on it. But she's not ready. She's not ready yet. Oh, another sip of water. All right. Sorry, cracking my neck. You could see me do it. So yeah, I was listening. She's more like, so Jin, like the evil, but she's also kind of like, it's like a playful evil voice. Like, oh, well, look at you. You're playing hard to get. Tomorrow, Tales of Seikyu. I'm so excited. So yeah, go after that Musashi. Hey, look. Yep, there's Musashi. Yeah. Okay. Is it your birthday, Arget? Everybody say happy birthday to Arget. Okay. You're full-bodied and sweet. Happy birthday, Arget. Dirt Feather. Okay. Got a Dirt Feather request. Grave. Oh, I found this egg. Oh, in a spaceship. Bubble. Face hugged. Now, if we were on Star Trek... Oh, too bad Charlemagne's gone, right? If we were on Star Trek, we wouldn't sing you happy birthday. We'd sing for He's a Jolly Good Fellow, because we don't want to pay for, happy birthday. Lagario, is that the guy's name in the game? Because otherwise, no. Oh, you mean in Fate? Yes, yes, yes. Yeah, I gotta do some more Gen listening, and I need to refresh myself on Siren and come up with what line for Siren gets me into the Siren mode. Everybody else, I have a line that gets me into the mode. Alright. So, the best movie poll. Looking like Star Wars won! Alright, you all came through for me. Thank you. Oh, did it really, Matryoshka? That's so funny. But on Twitch, Alien is winning. So interesting. So, yes. Oh, and then how about we had the Are We Alone in the Universe poll as well. And YouTube, you guys said yes. I mean, no, I'm sorry. You said, yes, there's alien life, so no, we are not alone in the universe. There we go. Twitch said the opposite. So, oh my god. Bravenwolf. That's incorrect. My period's coming. Ovulating soon. Ovulating soon. Thank you, everyone. I don't know why why would she be thanking people for that? Export, do you think the Fermat paradox is true? Yeah. Are you actually asking me? I don't know. That's hard. I'd have to read about it more. I mean, I know what it is. Maybe. It's just hard to believe. That, like, so it's the belief that, like, you know, alien species will eventually, like, destroy themselves, and that's why we haven't found any, is just like how we're kind of destroying ourselves, others will as well. I don't know. It seems hard to believe that two couldn't exist at the same time, though. Like, none of us will overlap? I don't know. God of Wolves has a request. Who raised this squad? Wait, I did. I did a terrible job. Dear fellow Crown, quote? Well, Crown's not the one he said. Why, hello! Two possibilities exist. Either we are alone in the universe, or we are not. Both are equally terrifying. Dear Feather, remind me who said that. I've seen that. I've heard that quote, but I can't remember who said it. Oh, I did not know that. Redacted. That someone, 1F, is Commander Riker. Commander Riker will volunteer. Oh yes, Gamma, that's a better explanation. It's a collection of theories. And the paradox, whoa, sorry, I just messed up what I was doing. The paradox is that the universe is so old you'd expect to see life. Oh. 1F, you will do it? You're gonna have to beat Commander Riker there. He's got Riz. I mean, not in my opinion. I would, like, if Commander Riker hit on me, I'd be like, bro, you're gross. But they sure seem to go for it. Alright, oh, it's already 9 p.m. I was gonna say any last requests, but that sounds threatening. Yes, exactly, Dirt Feather. Oh, I just closed my... Why did I do that? We need to vote on the topic for next week, though. So I'll include sharks, because sharks have yet to win. Advice on how to talk to women. That's one. Advice on how to talk to women / date them. That'll be number 2. How about 2 more? I know you guys, sharks and dating / women advice. That's 1. Those are 2, I mean. I could do one on baking / cookies, because I know you guys had mentioned that before. I don't know if you guys want that one. Other thoughts? Let's get one more. We could do another ancient or prehistory topic. Anybody? Cookies from Brave and Wolf, okay. How to talk to boys, yeah, Sleepy. I'm not so good at that. On flight, interesting. Ooh, written language, I like that, Jack Tricks. Let's do, ooh. I kind of like the written language idea. Let's put that in. Written language, and then do we want the last one to be cookies? I see a Rome. Aviation, was that W? Did you put that twice redacted or someone else? Sometimes I cannot keep track of, like, if someone says the same thing twice or if 2 different people said it. That's true, Brave and Wolf. I'm talking to you, but I'm not hitting on you. And also, we're virtual. Oh, Ellie Nyov, thanks for joining with Prime. Subbing on Twitch. Yeah, someone else said flight, so aviation. Oh my gosh, now I'm getting a whole bunch of different stuff. I do think about the Roman Empire all the time. That's true, 1F. All right. What are we gonna settle on, you guys? All right, I think I saw did 3 different people say Rome? All right, we're gonna go with Rome. Don't worry, things will come. You'll have a chance again next week if your topic didn't make it. Oh my god, my eye. How do I keep, like, I rub my eye and then it, like, really hurts, so I think I'm getting lotion in there, but I don't know how. My eye. Yeah, we'll see if Sharks happens. This will be Sharks, like, 4th week on the list. It'd be pretty funny. Which Rome? I'm thinking, yeah, the like, ancient Roman Empire, yeah. Not the Holy Roman Empire. All right. My eye. Oh, God. It stings. Brave and Wolf will keep that on the list, too. The ancient wonders of the world are super cool. Yeah, Matryoshka, maybe that's part of it. That's probably why I'm rubbing my eye, and now... Yes, that's it, 1F. It feels like I got something, like a cream in it, sort of thing. Out of context, where were you to push cookies? I don't use... I do use hand lotion, but I also do use face lotion in the morning. Land lotion, would that be like, fertilizer? Sleepy, that's funny. All right, sharks and dating are neck and neck. My eye. Oh, but it's still pretty, even. Rome is leading on Twitch. I must combine. Don't double vote, Brave and Wolf. No double voting. Oh my eye. God of Wolves. Just you and me and Jack Tricks, I guess. Because that was who suggested it, right? What if is a tie? Then we'll do a second poll tiebreaker. All right, 1 more minute. I'll give you till 9:06 and a half. Oh, anyway. Tomorrow, Tales of the Secu stream. Friday. For a second, I was thinking we had no stream on Friday, but that's because I'm off work on Friday, and my brain was confusing me. And that will be the crown. As of now, it's going to be a crown stream, unless a bunch of you rush in and vote for either Yan or Sugar or Lilywise. Jack Tricks. That'll just be me and God of Wolves and Jack Tricks looking up written language. I love hieroglyphs are so awesome, and cuneiform and all that. So cool. Love it. I'm like super into. I would love to visit Egypt, and I want to get like a hieroglyph necklace. You can buy them online, but it'd be cooler if I actually bought it in Egypt. Thanks, Eli and Yov. Alright, it's 9:06. Gonna start tallying the votes. Let me do the math, because I gotta compare the Twitch and the other one, so I can see who the ultimate winner was. Oh yeah, caveman drawings. Some of those are like disappearing because they like too much messing with them and stuff and exposure. Oh yeah, Yan's doing great out of context. She just pops up all the time. That's true. Interesting. Brave and Wolf I like as a precursor to written language, because they did tell stories and stuff. All right, so it looks like if I combine the two polls, it's a tie between women and Rome, which means gotta go to the poll again. I'll give you till 9:10 to break the tie. 9:10 and a half. Yeah, you talking about Let's Go? That's the one, right, Lagario? I would love to visit that, but I wouldn't want to visit it if it meant it was going to harm. I think, all the people being in their stuff isn't good. Out of context, she talks about Gus all the time. Yeah, Sharks is just never... Sharks is becoming K, you're right. You know what? I think we should decide that the week that... If K does come out, that week we will do Sharks. In celebration. True God of Wolves. We'll see. Alright, so Rome beat women easily. It's offensive. Alright, Rome is the winner. We probably won't talk about gods much since they're pretty damn similar to... Oh, wait, hold on. I forgot to give you till 9:10. My bad. 9:10 and a half, I said. Oh, yeah, Matryoshka, that's a good point. When is Shark Week on Discovery Channel? I called it too early, sorry. Till 9:10 and a half. I was saying something, too. Tom the Gotcha. The two genders, Roman women. That's funny. You got me good with that. I was gonna say something. I was saying something else, and then I forgot. Shit. Oh, I said we probably won't talk about gods too much since there's so, like, overlap with the Greek ones, and we did the Zeus thing. But we will a bit. Alright. Still has everybody voted? July 7th. Alright. So a bit of a ways out. Okay. So it looks like Rome wins. Twitch votes were the tiebreaker. So, Rome it is. Rome next week. Oh, the week of your birthday. That's cool, Rand's doing. Roma tomatoes. Yeah, those are good. So next week will be Rome then. Well, okay, so when I was in 6th grade, I loved the unit on Ancient Rome so much that I did all the extra credit assignments, and I was the only one. And I was just sitting at the computer during recess doing extra credit assignments. It's okay, all my friends were there. The Roman gods. Redacted, Twitch voting was in a separate poll. Yeah, Master Chief. I think some of the lesser known gods and touch on some of the big ones that are mentioned more. No worries, Dow. We can do it another time. Maybe a special Saturday stream sometime. Last call for impressions. Helm, I was joking about the friends. My joke was that at recess doing my extra credit, my friends were just the Greek gods. The Roman gods, I mean. I don't need friends. I have my books. Yes, the founding of Rome is... Yeah, definitely we'll talk about that. You know, I'm surprised we don't have more kids named Romulus and Remus these days. You'd think that would be like a thing. Alright, I'll give you till... Oh, there we go. Till 9:12. God of Wolves got one in. Well, hello. I shall rule this Rome. They need a king, right? Arga got one. Kay, fetch me my credit card. Oh, it's 9:12. All right. Thank you, everybody. Rommel? You've seen people named Rommel redacted? All right, night, everybody. I will see you tomorrow for Tales of the Sekio. I'm so excited. So tune in tomorrow for me dating my anime guys and looking at the boar butts. Before I go, one more. Braven Wolf snuck in one more. It's Yen. Hey, stud muffin. Save that for the dating stream. All right, Majram.